Hi, one of the big questions that we keep getting is how to deal with pepper spray and or CS gas, tear gas. I think the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that those are two different things, right? Pepper spray is made from capsaicin, or what we get from jalapenos and all the other different capsicum species from the seeds generally, and it's made. It's that capsaicin is alcohol soluble. It's not water soluble at all. We make our own capsicum extract all the time. We use like 90-95% alcohol for that. So we'll take that and then they'll evaporate off the alcohol usually and end up with like an oily resin. So it's an oleocapsaicin, or what's called OC, sometimes OC. And that's what that stands for. And so it's this kind of oily, substance that then they'll put in together with like propylene glycol or something else to emulsify it with water. So they've got a spray. So that's our capsicum, our capsaicin, our OC. Tear gas, on the other hand, is a chemical, right? It's a couple different types of chemicals. Sometimes it's called CS or CN, for a real long chemical name I can never remember, and so that's a different thing. Now, they're both fairly similar in terms of what's going to happen to you, and sometimes they're mixed together, but generally speaking, as when we're out there and we're working on the streets, you're probably going to be more likely, in my opinion, to see the pepper spray itself, right? Because you get cops that are going to spray directly on you with something that they can target. So like using some sort of a law enforcement version of this, which is basically pepper spray. Okay, so this is our oleocapsaicin. Tear gas, on the other hand, a little bit different. More times you're going to see that probably in grenades or in or being sprayed large amounts of it, like a cloud, which in my opinion outdoors is easier to avoid. I've been tear gassed many times in the military, and the worst time to do that is when you're in a closed building. It's horrible. But if you're outside, at least you can kind of try to move with or away from it, based on how the wind's blowing, hopefully, or see it coming, right, and get away from there. It's still bad. It's very bad. But what we're going to work on is figuring out how to decontaminate and how to deal with these situations with our eye, and I'm going to actually demonstrate this and get sprayed myself. Okay, a couple other important points to consider to prevent the stuff getting in your eyes, right? One is certainly glasses are preferred over nothing, right? So if you have contacts, that's a bad thing. Do not take contacts, and we'd be wearing contacts if you think you're going to get exposed. Secondly, aside from glasses, would be like activity or athletic, like basketball glasses that hug the face, and usually they're very low or no fog, and you can of course get anti-fog stuff on them, and that's really helpful too. Keep that stuff out of your eyes. And the other place you got to keep it out of is your airway. So getting around your nose and your mouth, that's what we're going to do after I get sprayed. Is I want to clean my eyes. I want to clean around my airway, especially if you're in the middle of pandemonium and chaos and everybody's running. This is a bad thing, because what you have to do, at least what I've found being gassed, is that you've got to take shallow breaths. You got to breathe very shallowly. You don't ever want to be doing a so that means you need to be in some cardiovascular shape as a medic too. If you're going to do street medic stuff, you got to be able to move around without getting out of breath, and especially with all that adrenaline in there. Okay, so no deep breathing. Clear the airways, clear the eyes, and try to be able to function a little bit even if your eyes are tearing. So some of the things that we're going to work with here, water. We've got water, of course. Now this would be best in some sort of a water with like a squirt, nozzle on the front, like a water bottle. That's better. You want a gentle stream. You don't want it to be really strong. But if we don't have that, we can always take a knife and poke a hole in the top of the lid, and we can use that on the fly if we need to as well. You could even just take the lid off and just gently pour, and you're still going to get irrigation. We got water. We've got magnesium hydroxide, or we've got Maalox, basically a generic brand of Maalox. So magnesium hydroxide, aluminum hydroxide. What we're looking for there, and what it does with at least with the capsaicin, is it breaks up that emulsification of the propylene glycol, and it makes it easier to get rid of that, that cayenne, basically, that cayenne that's in your eyes or whatever. So better than water, in my opinion. Some people say, something that's oil-based like milk. The problem with milk is it's going to go bad, and it leaves a white stain on the face. So those are not things that we want. A few other things that we're going to go through. I'll step through them first, and then we'll get in a little more detail and use them. All right, so we already used some of this water here earlier to demonstrate, cleaning somebody's eyes out, and Suchel talked all about that. So I'm going to take that cap off that had a hole punched in it, and I'm going to go ahead and mix it 50-50 with my magnesium hydroxide. It's actually you pour a little bit of water there and try to get a good 50-50 mix of that, along with my Maalox. Something that most people talk about and know already, but you don't want to get the mint flavored, Maalox. And there are other types of, antacids besides Maalox out there that use other ingredients. You want that magnesium or aluminum hydroxide is what you're looking for. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour this in and give myself a mix here, about 50-50. that thins this Maalox out pretty well. It makes it a lot easier to be able to use on the eye. I can just kind of shake this up. You could go ahead and preload this in your, in your water bottle that you're using if you're doing it as a medic or whatever, but that's what we're going to use here as well. We may or may not get to that. I'm really curious about the charcoal and to see how that works, so we're going to do things in stages here. I'm only going to get maced one time, okay? Sorry to disappoint anybody there. We'll do that once, and I'm going to start from the things that I think I want to test the most, with the charcoal especially, and then work from there our way back. Okay, so this is well known, Johnson's Baby shampoo, right? This is something that people talk about because, again, it's going to break up that oleo resin, hopefully that oleo capsaicin, and get it and be able to get it out of there, or even the tear gas if that's the case, if we want to be able to wash with it. A few other things. So these are your like makeup removing towelette type stuff. I don't know how well they work. I want to try them today. I have no idea how well they're going to work or how badly they're going to work. I don't know. So let's try those. But along with that is our charcoal. So I am of the sincere belief that just from using it myself and working with charcoal all the time and working with capsicum all the time, I think that charcoal is really something that we could use here. So I'm going to talk more about that in a second. The last thing here, or second to last thing, is our alcohol wipes. Does alcohol work to be able to pull this away from our skin? Well, possibly not. We're going to try that again today. The thing is that we know that the capsaicin itself is definitely alcohol soluble. We know that alcohol may work to be able to pull away the oil. Well, so would oil. I mean, literally we could get little cotton balls, and we could get them wet with like olive oil or vegetable oil, and we could use that. The problem is getting the oil off the skin. And so for those of you who like to think or talk about maybe putting some kind of oil or something oily on your skin before this happens, the problem is you got to get that oil off, or it's just going to basically become a medium for that capsaicin to stick on. Right, so now kind of the coup de grace for our experimentation here today is charcoal. I'm gonna work with charcoal. So what I did is I took charcoal and put it into a spray bottle in liquid form. And the way I did that was I took 1 tablespoon of charcoal per cup of water. Now here it's really important if you're gonna use charcoal, and I'm telling you all this ahead of time. I don't know how well this is going to work, but I think it's going to work well. What I did is I took 1 tablespoon of charcoal, and then this is very finely ground activated charcoal, like you can buy from charcoalhouse.com, or you could get fish. You go to a pet store and get fish charcoal for the filters and grind that up. It's better to be ground fine as you can, though. It's better to just get the pre-ground stuff. And 1 tablespoon per cup of distilled or filtered water. So there's no chlorine or anything, fluoride or anything like that the charcoal is going to already absorb to. Okay, this is going to work really well. I'm thinking this is probably going to work well. And I put it in a spray bottle, and it won't clog up the spray bottle because it's so finely ground. At that ratio of 1 tablespoon per cup of water, it should work. And it's not going to leave a big black film. I'm not going to end up with black eyes looking like a Batman or whatever, or Robin or whatever over my eyes. If I wipe it away right away, it should be okay too. So it's not going to leave a mark that other people or cops or whatever are going to be able to see on my face.
Further here, can I get you this charcoal?
Yeah, let's try the charcoal first.
Down here.
Oh my God, yeah, all over the eye, as much as you can, more and more. Different type of towelette. Oh, I'm definitely not ready to really open my eyes to work yet.
Okay.
All over the eye, as much as you can, more and more.
Get you a towel, and you want to wipe it off here with the activated charcoal towelette. Okay.
Oh, that's better.
Better?
Better. Oh, yeah, more charcoal.
More charcoal. Okay. Tell me when.
Keep going.
Is it dripping down your neck a bit?
That's okay.
I'll get you in.
Maalox is very cooling. Oh, it's as nice as the charcoal, I would say. And it's what's helped me open my eyes. Good, good, yeah. Oh man, that always helps a lot. Oh my god, huge difference. Oh, okay.
Activated charcoal towelette. Okay.
Oh, that's better.
Better?
That helps. Yeah, more charcoal.
More charcoal.
Helps. That's really good. Oh, that's better than anything else I've ever tried, actually.
Okay. Do you want to try another towelette or the? Here's one. This is the Burt's Bees.
Okay. Burt's Bees. Not really doing much.
Okay.
Let's try the other one.
Oh, there's just, I already got that one. So I'm getting your next one.
Really much of anything. Ooh, that's a little bit cooling. Neutrogena.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. Try that. Let me compare the. Try that. Let me compare the charcoal again. Charcoal.
Okay. Charcoal.
Okay, charcoal.
Okay.
Definitely best. Can you spray me with some more charcoal first? Yeah, that stuff just really feels good.
And then here's a charcoal, couple charcoal pellets.
Okay, that's good. All right. Okay. Okay. Water. There we go.
Want to do a little more soap too?
Yeah, please. Yeah, that helps a little. Maalox is better though. Can let me rinse with a little water here.
Okay. Here we go.
Another tip too: just be careful with your, when you're doing this. That especially if you're just trying it out for training or whatever, to not. I've had it happen where it drips down into your groin. You don't want that to happen. Okay, final thoughts, and I'm sorry I still can't quite open my eyes. It's been about 17 minutes, we think. Timing, it's not exact time. I can open my eyes a little bit now, and every time I put Maalox directly in the eye, it helps a lot, and I can keep my eyes open for a few seconds longer. So like if I had to run right now or move, I can open my eyes and blink them, every couple of seconds. I can force my eyes open if I need to for a little bit, but it's painful, of course. My assessment would be the charcoal was awesome, but the problem was the charcoal, even as fine as it was, it still blocked up the sprayer, so that sucks. Maalox was really good. Maalox was also as good as cooling as the charcoal was, and the nice thing about the Maalox was putting it in my eyes really helped a lot. And charcoal, I don't know if it would, just because you might have the granules in there, so probably Maalox I would say is the way to go here. Water is okay, but it certainly didn't do anything close to what the Maalox did, so I have to say the Maalox definitely, you can feel it, it breaks up that emulsification. The whiteheads, no, the charcoal one was by far the best, but none of them were really that great. I didn't get to the alcohol. The alcohol just felt like it would even be worse, like it would burn even worse. The shampoo was okay, not that great. I would say overall, like if just in terms of practicality, what's going to work in the field for me would definitely be the Maalox at this point.